In this presentation, we'll go over the second step of the writing process, structuring. By the end of this presentation, you should be able to define structuring and understand how it's used within the writing process, write a working thesis statement, and create an outline for several different types of essays. The second step of the writing process is structuring and is sometimes referred to as organizing or outlining. As its name suggests, the structuring step focuses on organizing the ideas developed in the invention step into an outline. The finished outline will serve as a guide for drafting your written work. This step helps you stay on track. Neglecting this step often leads to writing that digresses from its main purpose. First, you'll need to come up with a working thesis. In academic writing, a thesis statement is a single sentence that states your essay's main point and is typically the last sentence of your introduction. Every word, every sentence, and every paragraph of an essay should work to support your thesis in some way. A working thesis is a thesis that is used to get you started on developing your argument. As you continue to research your topic, you may decide that your thesis needs tweaking, and that's okay. Then, you'll need to use your work from the invention step to settle on your main supporting points for your thesis. On average, a college-level essay will use 3 main supporting points. Let's talk a little bit more about how to write a thesis statement. A good thesis will have 4 qualities. It will be interesting, specific, clear, and debatable. First, a good thesis should interest your reader in some way. Aim to write about a topic that is relevant and talked about in the world today. Your goal should be to captivate your reader's attention and leave them wanting to read more. A good thesis should also deal with a specific, narrowed-down topic that can be thoroughly addressed within the allotted length of your essay. A standard freshman college paper will probably be between 3 and 10 pages, so it's important to consider a topic that can be thoroughly discussed but not drawn out within that length. If your topic is too broad, you might struggle to fit all of your ideas into your essay. If it's too narrow, you'll likely find yourself using unnecessary filler text just to reach the required length for the essay. Remember, a thesis is a little like Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. You want to aim for a degree of specificity that's just right. Next, a good thesis should be clear. Your reader should not have to guess what it is you're trying to say. Whenever possible, your thesis should clearly state your topic, state your overall claim, and list your supporting points. A thesis with these characteristics will give your reader an idea as to what exactly your essay will be about and what your main points will be. Plus, listing your supporting points in your thesis and discussing them in the same order in your body paragraphs will help keep your reader on track and make your essay easier to follow. Finally, a good thesis will be debatable. A thesis that merely states a fact will not be interesting to your reader, and facts don't need to be supported. Similarly, there is no point in discussing a position on a topic that no one would disagree with. Here's an example of a good thesis for an argumentative essay. The death penalty should be demolished because it is unconstitutional, it does not reduce crime rates, and it goes against medical ethics. Notice how this thesis clearly states the writer's topic, the death penalty, states a specific and debatable claim about the topic, the death penalty should be demolished, and lists the writer's supporting points. The death penalty is unconstitutional, it does not reduce crime rates, and it goes against medical ethics. Once you've developed your thesis and supporting points, you can start to fill out your outline. Be sure to use a formal outline structure, using Roman numerals for each paragraph, capital letters for supporting points and numbers for supporting details. You can choose to make a topic outline, an outline that uses words or short phrases for each bullet point, or a sentence outline, which uses complete sentences for each bullet point. Keep in mind that the harder you work on your outline, the easier it will be to write your draft. There are many ways you can structure the outline of your essay depending on the type of essay you are writing. We'll start by looking at the most common structure for a classic argumentative essay, which focuses on arguing your position on a topic. Check out this example. Your first paragraph will be your introduction. Your introduction should introduce your topic, working from general ideas to more specific ideas. End your introduction with your thesis statement. Next, you'll list your body paragraphs. Each body paragraph should focus on one main supporting point. Each body paragraph should start with a topic sentence that states what that paragraph will be about and should include a variety of claims and evidence that supports your thesis. You should also use transition words or phrases to move from one point to the next. End your outline with a clear conclusion that restates your thesis in main points. A compare-contrast essay focuses on comparing the similarities and contrasting the differences of two things, and is usually structured using either the block method or the point-by-point method. Much like the classic argumentative essay, both methods include an introduction paragraph that introduces your topic and ends with your thesis statement, and both methods end with a conclusion that restates your thesis in main points, but the body of each method is organized differently. In the block method, you would first discuss all of the points of your first item, then discuss all of the same points of your second item in the same order. In the point-by-point method, you introduce one point at a time and compare both items before moving on to the next point and the next point. The block method is best for very short compare-contrast essays because it requires the reader to remember all of the points discussed about the first item, whereas the point-by-point method is better for more complex comparisons. Next, a narrative essay, one that tells a personal story, is generally written chronologically. The beginning will focus on setting the scene, introducing the characters, and introducing the conflict. The middle of the story will focus on the rising action and the events that lead up to the climax. Finally, the end will focus on the resolution of the conflict. Alternatively, experienced writers sometimes start a narrative in the middle of a story or at the end, jumping through time and filling in details for added effect. There are several other types of essays you can write in addition to these examples. An analysis involves breaking down a topic into smaller parts and discussing those parts one by one. A summary response essay begins by summarizing a text and then discusses your reaction to that text. A review evaluates a work or a product based on different criteria, and a proposal lays out a detailed plan to solve a particular problem. Each type of essay requires you to organize and structure the information from the invention step in a way that makes your overall purpose for writing clear to your reader, and writing a working thesis and making an outline for your essay in the structuring step of the writing process will help you stay on track when you move to the next step, drafting. Let's review. In this presentation, we discussed how to define structuring and understand how it's used within the writing process, write a working thesis statement, and create an outline for several different types of essays. Thanks for watching.